coming up to me saying, "Hope your speech is good." My sister even came up to me and told me she'd boo me if it was bad. That is not encouraging. Whatever Jonny said was a lie. Just saying, I was not there. Actually, did everyone enjoy their meal today? Yeah. Can we just give a round of applause to the catering team? I tell you what, a bottle of red wine goes down a treat to calm the nerves. I just want to start by saying that if there's anybody here that's feeling nervous, apprehensive, and probably quite queasy at the thought of what lies ahead, it's probably because you just married my friend Jonny Williams. Or because your daughter just did. Now there comes a time in everyone's life when they finally meet their one true love. Their soulmate, the person that's going to know and love them for the rest of their life. That moment came for Jonny at Stony Bible Week 15 years ago when he met me. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Paul. I've known Jonny for 15 years. I've grown up for him since we were, 8 years old. We met at Stony Bible Week in the... Awesome Eights, yeah. And we met each other then, and then it wasn't until about a year later that I was playing tag, whatever you want to call it, in our lead elder's garden. Suddenly, I find myself running next to Jonny, or chasing Jonny, or Jonny was chasing me. And there was that odd moment of realisation that, actually, I know this guy from somewhere. And it was from the Awesome Eights, and how that happened, I don't know, but yeah, absolutely fantastic. When Jonny asked me to be his best man, I thought, that is a true honour, and I thank you for that, and one that I couldn't turn down. But it's also very honourable of him, because he's finally admitting that I really am the best. Now, I'd just like to say how beautiful most of you are looking tonight. Some of you could have made a bit more of an effort. Graham Finch. Speaking of beautiful though, our bride Sarah, doesn't she look absolutely stunning today? Absolutely. And it's clear how Jonny got absolutely enchanted by her. To be honest with you, it's probably making him look a little bit more handsome than he actually is. Now, when I first met Sarah, I thought, dude, good job. Very good job. You've done a little too well for yourself there. Gentlemen, I think you'll agree that an absolute gem of a woman was taken off the singles list. Jonny, just not sure if I can say the same. Ladies, I'll let you be the judge of that one. To tell you what though, and like Jonny says, to nail down something that's funny, embarrassing, fully clothed kind of story, very, very difficult, and at the end of the day, that's what you guys want to hear. I realised that I spent way too much time with this guy, either playing computer games, shooting things, or each other, taking random pictures of ourselves in my back garden. We won't go there. And the more I think about it, I just can't believe that, how we managed to get girlfriends, let alone getting married today. And like I said, unfortunately, I'm implicating most of the very embarrassing ones, so I'll leave those ones out. If Jonny wants to bring them up at my wedding, that's fine, but I'll let him be the judge of that. But fortunately, Jonny suffered the same childhood torment that I did and grew up with 2 sisters. Yes, and thankfully for myself, they provided a lot of information. So Esther and Hannah, thank you very much. Now I wanted to put this across in a way that would show Jonny to be a fantastic husband. So, and just to make it a little bit more holy, I thought I'd use the Bible. I'm going to use the correct version, the ESV. Yeah. Oh dear. And maybe slightly used out of context, but then again, that's what most preachers do these days. Sorry, Grant. The talk today was fantastic. Right, it says this in 1 Timothy 5, verse 8. But if anyone does not provide for his relatives, and especially for members of his household, he has denied the faith, and is worse than an unbeliever. Strong words from Timothy there. Fortunately, Sarah, Jonny can get a job doing just about anything. Okay? Now, Jonny, I don't know what you put on your CV for this, but when you get a call from an escort agency, questions need to be asked. Either you lied, or escort agencies are in a dire situation. Is that what you did? Yeah? Okay. And as I understand it, this next job, your mother got you, and I don't know how this conversation happened in the office. As I understand it, so someone comes in, so we're looking for someone to do the voice of our new sexual health helpline. I don't know what Elizabeth then said. Oh yes, my son has a boring monotone voice. Oh, God, I don't know. I'm not even going to ask questions about it. Right then, 1 Thessalonians 5, verse 11. Let's find it. Where are we? Therefore, encourage one another and build one another up, just as you are doing. And Sarah, Jonny has been doing this for his whole life, encouraging people, as I'm sure Hannah and Esther can testify to, as I'm sure you can probably testify since you've been dating him as well. Now, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but the groomsmen have some very nice shaven faces, and this is because Jonny kindly booked us in to have a lovely shave this morning. Proper cutthroat razor. Very, very nice. And when he told us, I asked him, what if I want to rock the stubble look, Jonny? And his reply was swift and straight to the point, and he said to me, Paul, when you hit puberty and can grow anything that can be considered rocking the stubble look, then I will consider it. Thank you, Jonny. Building me up as always. So, me and Jonny's younger sister, Hannah, have always sort of joked that you've turned into a little bit of an old, mature man since coming to uni. And a wise man once said that maturity is knowing when and when not to be immature. And I believe you have mastered that perfectly if your stag do is anything to go by. And Sarah, at least you won't have to deal with his midlife crisis, because fortunately for you, I have already dealt with that. Okay? Now, I don't know how many of you knew Jonny when he was younger, but he mentioned it earlier. He had some very long, curly hair, very different to what he's sporting now. For the kids out there, think Sideshow Bob. For the guys out there, think Carlos Puyol, footballer. The women out there, think Julia Roberts from Pretty Woman. Just a little bit more unkept is probably the way to think. And so this day came from out of nowhere. I think we were walking back from school and Jonny turned to me and said, Paul, I want to get my hair cut. I said, okay, Jonny. Like how? He said to me, well, you know Jude Law? And I was like, yeah, I know Jude Law. Like that. I was like, okay, that's a pretty good style to go for. Big change, but good style. Let's just say the next day, Jude Law was not standing in front of me. It looked like Jonny had been in a fight with some brown hair dye and a pair of hair straighteners, and had definitely lost. Yeah, so me and Jonny were out Thursday night when I got down here at Good Bodies having a nice fry-up grill. And Jonny mentioned about his first dance and about the fact that maybe dancing is probably not his strong point. Now, Jonny, I've got here something from our Sunday school back when we were sort of 8, 9, 10. Okay, that sort of age. Okay, and in this book, it documents who was there, the topic, who were the leaders, but also the minor accidents. Okay? You're mentioned quite frequently in this book. So just to give you a bit of a picture. about your dancing.